All right, happy Monday, guys. I have an awesome Zoom for us today. I promise this is going to be worth your Monday while. I'm trying to move all this around so that I can really see everything, see the faces, see the slides, see all the things. So give me 2 seconds. Let me just adjust that. Okay, before I kick off though, I do want to start with some announcements. So save these dates, you guys. October 26th, which is 2 weeks from today, is when we will kick off our 30-day Breakaway Beauties Challenge. That will happen in our Inspire Beauty team page. So as you're inviting people to join you for this 30-day, basically couch to 5K sort of challenge, you're also simultaneously inviting them to join us as a team, right? The community, the team community, not necessarily just as a challenger, but upgrading to coach so that they can be a part of this particular boot camp. We're doing it together for the very first time. Every time a program launches, I love to take advantage of that launch opportunity and do it with our teammates first and foremost as kind of a group. And so if you do have new people, make sure you bring them into our team with the 30-day breakaway challenge pack that's on sale this month, diving in with us on October 26th. Next Monday, the program will actually be available for challengers, people who do not want to upgrade or become a coach. They can purchase it on the 19th. I am not, however, doing a separate group for challengers. I am specifically doing one starting on the 26th for coaches. So make sure as you're navigating those conversations, you've got 2 weeks left to plug these people into that boot camp. November 2nd, you guys. Let's get our heads wrapped around this because it is coming down the pipeline and it's going to be coming sooner than later. These months are flying. November 2nd is Peppermint Mocha Shakeology. If you are newer to our team, if you haven't been a part of Beachbody, last year they brought this limited edition flavor out and it is everything you want in Christmas shake form. It's amazing. So you get excited about it November 2nd. It starts with us, right? But also start wrapping your head around how you want to talk about this with people as well. And I will be sprinkling stuff your way. This calendar has already made its way to our coach business collab page. Frankie is totally gonna bark right now because I ordered grocery delivery and of course it's arriving right now. So just roll with it. I apologize. It's about to get chaotic in here. I can feel it. So just mark those dates down and then that calendar, save it to your phone so you have some of these ideas that you can run with. Guys, it's already October 12th. If you feel like, oh, we just started October, by the way, we're 3 days from being halfway done with the month. Like, there's a little kick in the pants for you. I'm so pumped to see Leah on this board, to see Amanda on this board. I need to see more of us on this board though, right? Like our non-negotiable every month is that we will bring 3 brand new people into our bootcamp doors, welcome them in, bring their energy in, and help them get results, right? Every month, 3 brand new faces welcomed into your bootcamp community. That's what we work for, yes? And so if you are not on this board yet, that is your job for the next 18, 19 days of the month, right? Let's not be the type of people though, learned it the hard way last month, waiting till the end of the month or trying to pull things off at the end of the month. And man, we fought for it. There was a crew of us that just went till the final bell, but that's always the worst feeling. So treat this week, the 12th today, the 13th tomorrow, and the 14th, like it's the last 3 days of the month because it's the last 3 days of the top half of the month, yeah? So let's push like it's the end. This last weekend, I just got back from our annual Diamond Retreat. That is an earned trip, an earned rewards trip. And it was, guys, live events are everything. Whether the live event is getting to a super weekend when they are happening, not just virtual, but when they're actually happening face-to-face. Super weekends are awesome. There is a super weekend, also mark this down on your calendar, coming November 7th. That same week as Peppermint Mocha launch, that Saturday, we'll do it virtually like we did in the spring. So if you got to be part of it then, strap in. It's going to be just as awesome, if not better. And if you didn't get to be a part of it then, make sure you're saving that Saturday as a non-negotiable date to just surround yourself with community, right? It will be virtual, but we will make it special. But things like Summit, things like these retreats, they are amazing because when you get face-to-face, we're through a screen all the time, right? But there's power in getting face-to-face, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow with your teammates and just get to talk and get to learn about them, get to see that we're not so different, get to laugh, get to cry, get to goal set, get to say things out loud that maybe in your normal surroundings you can't say to other people because maybe those aren't the type of conversations you navigate, or maybe you feel like if you say your dreams to somebody in your current life situation that maybe they'll think it's silly or they'll downplay it, right? This is the time when none of that, like there's no boundaries with that, right? This is when we get together and we get to dream big and envision amazing lives for and with each other. So I have another incentive right up my sleeve. It's a Galentine's getaway. It's the weekend of February 19th, 20, and 21st. And I wanted to make this accessible to everyone. I didn't want to make it, now first of all, I just need you to know, you guys, Diamond is not a hard goal. Like, let's just take it off the pedestal right now. It's not. It's 12 people. You probably have more than 12 names on your cell phone that you could text tonight, right? 12 people. Like, Diamond is your innermost tribe to start with, yeah? And we all know more than 12 people, and I'm certain all of you have more than 12 followers, right? So Diamond isn't like this grandiose thing where it's like so many people. 12 people, that's it. That's what your team starts as, is a team of 12, okay? But I also know that I want this to be something that's accessible for everyone, even if you just started with us this week, right? I also want it to be something that stretches you. I want to see growth in you. I don't want to see stagnation. I don't want to see, I hit Emerald and then I dropped it and I'm comfortable and I'm coasting because at least I hit it once. No, the idea is to continue to build and grow and stretch your reach and expand, right? And build your impact and your influence, not diminish it. Okay, so this is about growth. Here are the ways you have to earn this invitation. Number one, you need to hit Success Club 5 or higher all 3 months starting October, November, December. So this is your push right now, that you're going to help 3 people in October. You're going to then push yourself to help 3 people in November. And by golly, if you've already helped 3 people in November or October, November, there's no freaking way that you would miss December, because that's one of the ways to check off earning your invitation, right? So like right now, that is already your goal. I'm going to help a minimum of 3 people between now and the end of this month, November as well as December. Okay, the next incentive or the next task you need to do is go Emerald or go Emerald again. So meaning you need to add 2 new people to your team between now and the end of the year. Now that's not, if you're hitting Success Club all 3 months, going Emerald should be an inevitability, right? But I'm stretching you because I want you to be building your teams. I don't just want you to be comfortable inviting to the boot camp, but the coach community is where serious transformation happens. And you said yes to the coach community. So it's only, obvious that you'd want to pay that forward and bring to life the same experience you're having, right? So going Emerald again, or for the very first time between now and 12/31, okay? If you're a coach or a current lifetime Emerald, lifetime means that you were that rank, that you might not be that rank today, but at some point you were an Emerald. So lifetime Emeralds and coaches must be a paid Emerald coach or higher when they wake up on New Year's Eve, 12/31. Okay, so if you go Emerald, let's say you go Emerald this week, you're like, yes, I checked it off, I went Emerald this week. You need to also still be Emerald come Thursday, 12/31 when you wake up. Yeah, that Thursday in your back office, you must be a paid Emerald coach. If you are a lifetime Diamond or higher, you need to be a Diamond paid rank when you wake up on Thursday, 12/31. I did this on purpose because, again, this is growth, right? We don't want to hit something like Diamond and then just drop it and be okay sitting not at Diamond for way too long. So this is urgency for you to not just maintain your rank, but build a solid, like strong rank foundation where you don't have to worry that it's dropping and where you're just counting on these people to hold your rank in case they were to drop, right? So that's your goal. That's what you're working for. And as the months finish or as the months are going, I will announce like, okay, October, so-and-so already hit SC and they've already added 2 coaches. So far, so good. They are on track to get their invitation, right? And I want to start growing that list, and it starts this month, yeah? I want this list to be massive this month and just build from there, right? Like it has to start this month. So hype the energy, already cast the vision that you will be there. It's literally going to be like a girls' slumber party. That's all it's going to be. You're coming to my house. Charlie is going to cook for us and take all the pictures, and we'll wear jammies and play games and just laugh a lot. That's literally what we're going to do. Probably chocolate and wine because it's Galentine's. You get it. Okay, let's dive in to goal setting. So tonight I've got kind of like a circular pattern that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to walk you through this goal setting method, if you will. And so I want you to like envision a circle where at the top you'd say like what, and then around the circle you'd say why. I'm sorry, when, and then around the circle you'd say why. And then it just kind of continues around that circle. So what, when, and why. That's really what we're going to dig into tonight. Here's the goal though, you guys. The goal tonight is not just to get in the game, because I know there's a lot of you on this call where maybe you haven't been on a call in a while. Maybe you're like, okay, this is what I need exactly right now. 2020 has just been chaotic. I'm ready to strap in. I had goals that were important at some point in time to me. I want to laser focus myself. It's not enough, my friends, to get in the game. That's awesome. Like I want to like virtually high five you and like pat you on the back and be like, you go girl, get in the game. Here's what I actually want from you. This is the goal. So write this down. The goal is not to get in the game. The goal right now is to stay in the game. You feel me? It's not just about getting in the game. Anyone can say yes and say, I want to join your boot camp. It takes a different energy to stay in the boot camp. It takes a different energy to stay in the workout program. It takes a different energy to stay on track with your nutrition. It takes a different energy to stay on track with your business tracker, even when life gets chaotic, right? When good things happen, when bad things happen, when things are out of our control, right? We have to be so sold out that we're staying in the game that nothing can stand in the way of that, right? Okay. So first I want to talk about obstacles, because I sort of am that like pessimist in a sense, that little Debbie Downer. I've got to talk to you first about obstacles, because I want to be a tribe of women that anticipate there will be hard times. Last week in our threads, in our different pods, I asked about struggles and bam, they were coming in. And here's the deal. I'm not anyone's therapist. I'm not like licensed to fix any of you guys. And none of you probably truly even want me to quote unquote fix you, right? Like there's nothing broken about you. What I wanted you to see is that everyone's struggling. I could sit here tonight on this Zoom and give you a laundry list of every way that I'm struggling. But instead of turning my focus onto that all the time, I take that struggle and I realize that in order to move through it, I have to take action. So I know there's going to be hard times. I know there's going to be months where it's harder for me to, get energy going to join my boot camp. I know there's months where it's going to be, when we moved into this house, that was a season where there was a lot of chaos happening all around me. And I had to, really hone in on the things that move the needle forward. There have been seasons that were harder than others to move the needle forward in this business. That doesn't mean it's impossible, right? Just means I have to be a little bit more disciplined and dedicated. What if it isn't just, like I said, about getting started? What if it's about getting ready to stay the course no matter what? So tonight's not just about, I'm excited to get started on my goals again. I love that. Awesome. Also commit to staying on the course for October, November, and December, because what you do right now, my friends, will dictate 2021 for you. Everything is delayed results. This business is delayed results. If you are feeling like your business is really quiet right now, I encourage you to go back and look, what were you doing the last 1, 2, or 3 months? Because it's showing up right now. The months that I struggle in this business, it's not what's actually happening in that month. It's what I did prior to that month or didn't do that's causing that ripple effect. So what you do right now truly will motivate what's going to happen at the top of 2021 and into that first quarter, right? So if you're like, I've got big dreams for 2021, start them now. If you want a lot of people in your boot camp, guys, there's going to be an insane launch happening with Autumn. Like insane. If you were not here for 80-day obsession, that transformed the game for businesses. There's coaches on our team right now who are our top leaders, who that's when they decided that they were all in to coach, was with 80-day obsession. Like this is going to be a game changer for you and for your coaches and your challengers. But you can't wait until January 1st to say, hey, I've got this program. Who wants to join me for New Year's? No, when New Year's hits, people are going to be thinking about who's the person I can count on? Who can I trust? And that starts now. Chasing your dreams, you guys, I'm going to tell you right now, tonight, you're going to write down some things that you want to do. When you chase your dreams, it means you're gonna have to deal with those moments when your head is flat down on the floor, ugly crying because something just took it all out of you. I can't tell you how many times this is a roller coaster. I can't tell you how many times in this business I am brought to my knees for how hard something hits me. But that just means that I've got big goals. So your big dreams will have big obstacles, right? The higher the level, like they say, the higher the level, the stronger the devil kind of thing, right? Like new level, new devil. That's what happens. There will be things that bring you to your knees. So just like already get like comfortable that it's not an easy street, and we don't need it to be. We don't need it to be. The thing is too, I know in the beginning, a lot of you guys are like, well, it's like, I suck, Brittany. I suck at running challenge groups. I suck at posting on social media. I suck at inviting. Like, it sucks. Like, I'm sure you have a list of all the things you think you suck at, right? But here's the deal. You have to learn how to just suck long enough to get better. And then once you get better, then all of a sudden you're going to get good at it. And then from good, you get to great, right? And then from great, you can start mastering things and start, right, training other people. But you have to be okay with sucking in the beginning. It's everything. Like every level you get to, you will find, okay, I kind of suck at that now, right? Every level you get to, you will find a new reason to suck at what you're doing. Instagram Reels right now are brand new to me. I kind of suck at them. It's okay. I'm going to suck at them until I get better, and then I'm going to get good at them, and then hopefully they'll still be a thing and I'll be great, right? The thing is, it's about the reps you put in. It's the repetitions. Just like when we work out, it's all the reps we're putting in to build the muscle that count, right? It's all the reps we put in when we're meal planning week after week after week, okay? All those reps, and then getting back up time after time. The same is applicable in this business. Every time I send an invite, I get that much better at sending them. Every time I, post on social media and talk about my story and share why I'm here and put myself out there for people to potentially judge, I get better at it. And I also develop thicker skin every single time. So you have to also be ready, right? When we're chasing our dreams, be ready for the ugly cries, be ready for the hard times. Anticipate there will be an obstacle, my friends, right? Let's be a tribe that leans into that and not like pushes away from it. But also be ready, you're going to self-doubt, right? You're going to self-doubt. There's going to be things. Why? Because we're human and you're brand new at stuff. Something in your business feels brand new right now. Every single one of us can name in the chat right now, like share it with us. What is something in your business that right now feels brand new to you? And you'll see as like leaders share, their brand new might be a little different. As brand new coaches share, their brand new will be different than maybe the coach that's been navigating the business for a little bit and just might feel stuck on how to get to the next, like over the next hurdle, the next wall. So all of us, as you're sharing, I want you to see that new level, new devil, right? You will self-doubt yourself along the way. That's the name of the game. That's just part of being human. And also, guys, while we're on it, not everybody will understand what's on your heart. Not everybody is going to understand your big, scary dreams, and that's okay. Because they're not for them, they're for you. So if your best friend from high school judges you, or your mom has something to say at Thanksgiving dinner, that's okay. Keep going, because it's not for them. You get one life. You get one chance. You get one shot to do all this. So you're gonna let somebody else's naysaying stop you? That's so silly. I don't take advice from anyone who's not in the ring with me. If you're not on the field with me and you don't know what it's like to post on social media every day, if you're not in the field with me and you don't know the kind of heart and hustle and drive it takes to reach out and serve and love people every freaking day and to build connections and try to grow a following and branding and marketing and all that, if you don't know how to do that proficiently, I don't need to hear your opinion. It doesn't mean anything to me unless you can show me that you are doing something that is exactly what I'm doing and you're thriving at it. Then maybe I'll take your advice. Then you can be a mentor to me. But here's the deal. No one is ever going to judge you who's actually on the field doing what you're doing, ever. So remind yourself of that. Are they on the field with me? Do they actually know what it takes, what courage it takes to do what I'm doing? The boldness to live not just a life, like not just to get through your life and survive, but to like thrive and to have a life that you're like wildly proud of and like look forward to living. If they're not doing that, if Aunt Karen isn't doing that at the Thanksgiving dinner table, then I don't need to hear about Aunt Karen's opinion, right? It's your job to believe in yourself, no one else. So even if Aunt Karen doesn't believe at you on Thanksgiving and she lets everybody know about it, it's not her job to believe in you, it's yours, right? Okay, obstacles out of the way, let's dive in. So what do you want, you guys? Like, this is where we're gonna take some pen to paper. What do you want? Now, this is not about Success Club points. This is not, I want to hit Emerald. This is not, I want to be a diamond coach. This is not, I want to go to this is, I want that. It's not even about helping people. So help me God, if you write down, I want to help people, I will come through the screen so freaking quickly. This is not what it's about. Yes, we help people. That's what we do. That's not what you want, right? This is deeper than that. Success Club is what's going to make your goal come to life. The rank is what will make your goal come to life. Helping people will make your goal come to life. But what do you really, really want? So I wrote down a couple examples. Some are from my life. Some are from people that I've coached and mentored their lives. Some of you have shared this kind of stuff recently. So I'll just share a couple examples. One thing you could really, really want right now is I want to earn $500 so I can pay cash for Christmas. Melanie Mitchell, a 4-time top coach. She's still in the very top. She is phenomenal. That was her very first goal. She just didn't want to argue about Christmas this year. Not this year, but when she first started. She didn't want to argue with her husband about how much they spent. So she wanted to earn $500 so she could pay cash for Christmas, so that when they came down and looked at the presents under the tree, her and her husband didn't have to have an argument about money on Christmas Day. I want to earn $160 so I can break even with my investment. Some of you guys, when you swipe that card, I know when I swiped that card, I didn't have $160 just hanging around. So I wanted to earn that money back. Maybe that's your goal right now. I need to break even with that. Or every month I pay for my Shakeology, and that's that one extra fee that just feels a little heavy right now. And I don't want to cancel my shakes because I really love how I feel, but it just feels like, I just need that money back, right? Maybe that's your what. I want to earn $360 because that is the car note this month. When I started, that was my car note, $360. And I needed to pay my freaking car note because I don't know why I bought a car when I couldn't really even afford one. I want to earn $2,100 because that is how much my dream wedding dress costs. Again, these are things I said in my business. I want to earn $10,000 for a down payment to build a pool. Guys, it doesn't matter where you are on the spectrum, and it doesn't have to be some grand, like, huge number, whatever, but it's that elephant on your chest. It's that thing on your heart that if I could just do this, everything else, it would just take a stress away. It would relieve some sort of burden I'm feeling. So what is that? Take a second. Write down, what do you freaking want? Now, all of these are financial outcomes, and so I want you to kind of hone in on that. Because they're financial because this is a business. That's what you're going to get, right? So I want you to focus on like money for something. And like, guys, get real with it. Like, we're going to peel some onion layers back tonight. Like, we're going to peel the layers back, but I don't want it to be ambiguous. I don't want it to be this thing like out there, like, I want to be able to pay for, no. Tell me, how much cash do you need? Like, the more specific you can get with it, the easier it's going to be to break things down. Yeah. Okay. So what do you freaking want? As you're still writing, I'm going to go on to the next one. When is the next part of our circle? When do you need it? We need to timestamp our goals, because when we give ourselves no end date, when it's like, I want to earn enough money so that I can take a vacation. Well, I don't know what enough money is, and I don't know when your vacation is. I need to earn $750 so that I can fly to Paris on February 13th, right? Like, that's specific. So when do you need it? Because when we have this end date, now we have urgency for actions, which we'll talk about here in a second. We need urgency for action and change in our behaviors, because what you've been doing maybe If you haven't been earning the $500 you need, or you haven't been paying off your shakes every month, then you need to get that stress out of your life, that extra cost, right? If you haven't been doing that, there is something about your behaviors that's going to have to change. So we have to give ourselves urgency. We have to put ourselves back against the wall a little bit. So example, I took this wedding dress example, okay? If it's $2,100 to pay for my wedding dress by January 15th, okay, I know when I go on January 15th, I'm going in for dress fittings, I'm gonna try them on, I'm gonna say yes to the dress, and I need that money by the 15th of January. Now I can reverse engineer that dollar amount. Because once you know the date, you guys, you can check how do we make this happen. So I'm just gonna give you like a very, very basic template for how you make some of these financial goals happen. But every challenge pack you sell is approximately $50, approximately, okay? This is not talking about if that person renews their Shakeology next month and that's the money you get back. This isn't talking about adding people to your team and growing your team cycle bonus. I'm not including any of that stuff. I'm getting very basic, okay? Because there are more opportunities to earn income beyond just selling challenge packs, absolutely. But I just want to make it even for tonight, okay? So every challenge pack is about $50 sold. So if you need $2,100 by January 15th, divide that by 50, that's 42 challenge packs. Now, let's not be like, oh my God, 42 challenge packs. How am I going to get 42 people to join my boot camp? I can't even get, no. Like that's not serving you, that thought process, right? So we're going to stop that in its trail. We did something fun this weekend where we just threw shit in the fire, like that needs to burn and be done. So if that's your thought process, like how am I, zip it, swallow it, gulp it down. You don't need it, right? You don't need to be telling yourself that. Let's break down 42 packs. October, November, December, and we'll count January as 1 month. That's just like 10 people a month, you guys. You can help 10 people a month if you really, really, really want to pay for that wedding dress badly enough. Do you hear that? If you truly want it bad enough, you'll do it. If you don't really care about the 2,100, if it's not that deep to you, you won't make it happen. So that's why it's really important that what that you just said, it better be something that's really laid on your heart, elephant on your chest. It's something that could make you cry if you shared about it, right? Okay. Why does that matter? This is our third part. So going around the circle, we started with what do we need? When do we need it by? And now why does it matter? So this is where we should trigger some emotion. Got to mean something. That's why I say you can't just say, I want to help people, because, well, when somebody doesn't want your help, what do? Do you quit? Right? The newsflash, remember back to like, but first, obstacles. There's going to be people that don't want your help. Just newsflash, right? So it's got to mean something so deep that it triggers emotion. So right now, write down why you want to achieve your what. I want you to just spew out the first thing on your notepad that matters to you. So if it's, I need to pay for my wedding dress on January 15th, maybe it's important to me because I don't want anyone else to pay for it. So that's the first thing I write. I don't want anybody else to pay for it. I want to be the one to pay for it. That's why it's important to me. So go ahead and write that down. Your first answer. I'm going to tell you right now, your first answer, it's not good enough. It's not juicy enough. It's not deep enough. It's not enough. So now with that answer, I want you to ask yourself why again. So for example, if you were interviewing me and you said, Brittany, why is it important to pay cash for your wedding dress? And I said, well, because I don't want anyone else to have to pay for it. And you said, well, why? Why don't you want anyone else to pay for it? Maybe my next answer is, I want to feel like I can do it on my own. So ask yourself again, why? So whatever your answer was, say, well, why do you want that? Why? And write down an answer. And we're going to do it again. We're going to do it as it's going to start getting uncomfortable, you guys. That's the point. Because your first answer is usually very surface level of why it's important. I want it to mean something. So, Brittany, you said it was important that you paid cash for your wedding dress. I asked you why. You said, I don't want to have anyone else pay for it. I said, why? Why don't you want anybody to pay for it? And I said, I want to feel like I can do it on my own. And you'd say, well, why do you want to feel that way? And I could answer, I hate asking people for money. Okay, now I'm getting a little deeper. So I want you to ask yourself why again. Another layer, peel it back. Why? Why is that important? And if you do this enough times, I mean, you might need to go more than this, or maybe you've already hit the nail on the head. But if you ask enough times why, you're going to get to something that is like a limiting belief, or it's something that an old past hurt that has held you back in life, or just something that has stuck with you, right? You're going to get to the root of that. Very surface level, I said, it's important for me to pay cash for my wedding dress because I don't want anybody else to pay. And when asked why, I said, I want to feel like I can do it on my own. Well, why do you want to do it on your own? Because I hate asking people for money. Why do you hate asking people for money, Brittany? Well, because when I was a child, my parents made me feel guilty when I asked them for money. And so I learned to feel ashamed of myself. Do you see that? Do you see how juicy and deep and real and raw and vulnerable that is? And that is why that matters. It matters that I pay cash for my wedding dress because I don't want to feel like I felt as a child when I felt guilty for asking for money. So as an adult, I want to just be able to do it for myself, right? So you might not be there yet. Keep digging, keep asking why. So we made it around the circle, you guys, yeah? We made it around your circle. What do you want? When do you want it by? Why does it matter? But we're going to keep going. This is where it gets good. We're back to what? What do you need to do? So we know what you want, we know when you want it by, and we know why you want it. But now we need to start back at the top at what again? What do you have to do? This is where we reverse engineer your goal into action steps. And this is where you get specific. What are the specific things? So remember back to my example, we got very specific. And if you need to do a little math on a Monday, like make sure, pull your calculator out. How many challenge packs do you need, right, to hit your goal by your date, right? And then there's, like I said, there's other ways to earn money in this business. And if you want help, like navigating more than just challenge packs, I'm happy to help you, absolutely. But for today's example, just $50 per pack, yeah? So if my goal was 10 new people per month so that I can get that wedding dress, now I have a target of how many invites I'm going to send out each day. Here's the deal. 1 out of every 10 people will potentially join you. That's about the odds. 1 out of every 10. Okay? So if I need 10 people per month, I'm talking and inviting at a minimum 100 people. But like, again, let's not let this scare you. Now I need to look at what does that look like on a daily basis? Well, there's about 30 days in a month, 100 divided by 3. I'm going to have about, or by 30, I'm going to have about 3 conversations every day, right? If I want to do it Monday through Sunday, it's totally based on your discretion and what works for you. But now you know what you need to do. Okay, every day at a minimum, I have to send 3 invites. Well, I don't want to work my business on Sunday, so you know what? I'm going to up it to 4 to 5 every day. If after the first week of doing 4 to 5 invites every day, you are not on track targeting 10 new people for the month, then you have to reevaluate. Okay, let me look at other areas. Am I doing calls to actions? Am I showing up the way I want my boot campers to show up? Do I have energy like pouring out? Am I building trust with people? Like, am I the person that they think of when they think that they need to start working on their fitness routine? Am I talking about 30-day breakaway till I'm blue in the freaking face and hyping this couch to 5K? Like, you have to really evaluate yourself every week as you're trying to hit this goal, right? We can't just like, I'm going to invite 100 people and then that's not the only moving piece of this, right? So you have to really look at all the moving pieces and say, what do I specifically need to do? And then reflect often. Okay, so again, attaching your action back to why you want to achieve this goal. Because I will show up when I know why. When I know that this puts, for me in the beginning, this was what put dinner on the table for my family. It still does, and then some, right? But in the beginning, the only thing I wanted to be able to do was contribute dinner to my family. And so when I worked every day, that was what was on my heart, was like, I don't want to have Charlie pay for groceries this week. And so that got me to action even on days I didn't feel like it, right? Now, some of you earn enough money in your job to sit comfortably in your life because you have a 9-to-5 that pays you well, and that's that. There are other stresses in your life that finances, right, we can't even talk about, right? Like, maybe there's stresses in your life, like in the future that you can't even plan for. So maybe you want to have children in the future and you want to be able to pay cash for their college, or you want to be able to buy them their own car because you never got your own car, or things like that. Like, you're working for things that have an emotional attachment. So I don't want you to sit back and say, well, my life is pretty comfortable, my life is pretty fine, because for what it's worth, like, a comfort, cushy, safe life, I just feel like at the end of it all, you're going to wonder why you didn't just take the chances, why you didn't just risk things. And I don't want you to ever have regret for why you didn't just go after the things that you truly wanted, right? So now we're back to when. So this is a business, right? This is so challenging because nobody's your boss. There is no one that's your boss in Beachbody. Not me, not your upline. No one's your boss. I will not drag anybody. I will not like, hey, did you send your invites today? Like, that's not my job. This is your business. You are literally, when you signed up to be a coach, you signed up to own your own business. And it will pay you that way and then some. And it has the power to bless you in ways beyond your wildest dreams. But you have to take ownership and have discipline for it. No one else is going to come in and be your hero. I feel like if there's one superpower I have, it's that I've modeled that without having an upline. Imagine, like, I want you to ask yourself, if my upline walked away today, if I had no coach support, if there were no more Monday Zooms, if there were no more Tuesday power hours, could I still be successful? The answer is abso-freaking-lutely you could. Because I lost all those things and I figured it out, right? Because I wanted it. I wanted it bad enough. The other thing too is some of these goals are you being disappointed in yourself, but there's power when we know that if we don't achieve our goal, we'll disappoint others. So I want you to like put a little bit of that weight on yourself in that way of like, who would I disappoint if I didn't hit these goals, right? Beyond just yourself. And sometimes that's what helps us. Like, it's like you'll show up because, your challengers are showing up, but you won't just show up because you're going to show up, right? Like you don't want to disappoint other people before yourself. So have both. That's both of those areas are healthy. Set your schedule. Like tonight, before you go to bed, if you haven't already looked at your week and said, this is when I'm working my business, this is when I'm doing that, you need to set that schedule this week. And every Sunday, like clockwork, make it a practice where you look at your week ahead and you navigate, how am I going to achieve my goals? Use your pods that we have, you guys, for accountability. Drop Zoom links. Oh my gosh, drop your Zoom links. We were thriving on that back in, early COVID days, and in August, especially with Team Cup, people were dropping their Zoom links left and right for accountability. And now that we're trying to like adjust our schedules back to some sort of like old normalcy, you have to understand that life isn't the same as what you left it as. So if you went back to the classroom, or if your kids went back to school, the last time they were in school, you've done a lot of things for yourself and your business and your dreams along the way that you can't all of a sudden just go back to life the way it was. That doesn't exist anymore. You got to say bye-bye to her, right? You've leveled up since then. You took this time during a global pandemic to look and say, what do I really want? And started to chase that and create that for yourself. So when you go back to this, to bringing other things back in your life that were a part of it pre-pandemic, you're not the same person anymore. So you can't function the same way, and you can't just go back to like business as usual, because it's not the same. So it should feel different than it felt back in, February, January, right? Absolutely. And I think it's so important that you tell the people close to you what you're working for and when to expect that you're plugged into Beachbody hours. Charlie, no doubt, you guys, he wants me to travel with him coming up in a few weeks. He's got an event in Phoenix and he's like, would you go with me? Absolutely, hands down, I'll take my work with me. And he said, I know that that's your super weekend. We'll be traveling in Phoenix during super weekend. And he said, but don't worry, I know you need to do your thing that day. So we'll make sure we plan around it. He knows that I'm not going to say, here we are in Phoenix. I think I'm just going to bow out of a quarterly training event that my business. Heck no, I'm not. Would you do that in your job? If your boss said, hey, we have a quarterly training on this Saturday, you'd be like, you know what? Kind of want to have some family time. No, you'd show up for it, right? And so this business, when you start to treat it like that, when you start to take ownership of these things, yeah, I know that getting on a national wake up call doesn't pay you $10 right away back per hour. Like, I get that. But the compound effect of what that moment will do for your business by learning and growing and plugging into trainings, and actually the posture of you treating it like a business, very different, very different. So you have to start doing stuff like that. So we're back to our why, right? So we just went around the whole circle, and that's literally it. So hold on, let me go back. So that's how we get around the circle. You can do this with any goal. You might have thought of multiple goals tonight. Don't lump them all together. This should be separate. So maybe you want a couple different things. What do you want? When do you want to do that by? When do you need it by? Put your back against the wall, create urgency, tell yourself why that matters, figure out what you need to do, figure out when you're going to do those things, those actions to move the needle forward, right? And then you're back to your why again, okay? So this is literally a simple method for goal setting that just kind of takes the guesswork out of how to do this, but also breaks it down. So I do encourage you to spend some time, like tangible time, breaking down like, okay, that really is this many challenge packs. So that's what I've got to do, right? And then sharing those with people around you. Guys, any questions for me tonight?